It is just really that time of year where it's like 6 p.m., it's like 6:14, and it feels like midnight. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemesstom. Thank you so much for clicking on this video if you are new here. Hello, and welcome. I'm currently amidst a 6-month no-buy, so I'm being critical not only of makeup releases that are happening around us, but also my own collection. And part of that has been this project that I have just started for what I am now calling messmas. Messmas just means that I'm posting every day in the month of December, or trying to. I'm not gonna be too hard on myself if one day it doesn't happen, or if a couple days it doesn't happen. That's neither here nor there, but I'm gonna make an honest attempt to. Anyway, if you are new here, would love to have you subscribe. Take a look around. There's a lot to see. I've been in the game for a minute. If you're really invested in me, I also have a Patreon where I post 2 additional videos every month. It's new, so December is essentially the first month I'm doing that. So I guess that's like more than a video every day, isn't it? Don't worry though, all of my normal content will be intermixed with this current project. What is this project? Well, I announced it on the 1st. This is a box. This is filled with some makeup already. Now, this is the makeup from day 1. What I'm doing is I really want to touch and use all of the stuff in my collection before the end of the year. So what I'm doing is every time I do my makeup, which is going to be a lot this month, I am putting whatever I use in this box, which means I can't use it again for the rest of the month. So it's kind of 1, a challenge on me as a makeup artist to see what kind of looks I can do, and then 2, a way for me to get my hands on everything, because I don't feel like I have a relationship with everything that's in my collection, and I feel like I don't have an opinion with everything that's in my collection. So this is my effort, my concerted effort to at least put everything on my face once before the end of the year. I don't actually know if that's like a feasible thing with the amount of makeup I have, but we're trying, and I just think this is a good project for us. So if you want to see more of that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and also follow along. There's a playlist that I made for this activity. Welcome to Messmas, I guess. Okay, so I am feeling like lazy and tired, so I think what we're gonna do, I want to do something like extremely glossy, especially because I'm not gonna be wearing it for very long because it's like later day. I just want to do something really glossy because my oily skin doesn't really normally allow for something glossy to sustain for the whole day. So for complexion, we're gonna do glossy. So much gloss. And that's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. Very little powdering, maybe. Maybe we won't even powder. Ooh. Ooh. So, it could be a dangerous game. But, so my thought is to do like a lot of cremes, some like creme products. So, here are some things, and I think I might do blush all across the nose, like HLP style, like maybe like very just like HLP style. Maybe that's the destination and the journey. Okay, so I'm gonna pick out some items for this task and I will be right back. Okay, so that took me longer than anticipated to like pick things out to do something very glossy. So we're doing like a very creamy situation on the face today. So I also am gonna keep the eyes pretty light, and everything's gonna be pink, but I think the eyes. I'm gonna be using this quad from Chantikai. It's the Butterfly Eye Quartet. Looks like this. And I might just be using like this shade right here and that shade right there. We might throw that onto the lids, but we'll see. We'll just see. And because this doesn't have like an excessive amount of fallout, I've used it before, I think it'll be fine to do that step last. Like I really want it to be about this. I want it to be about my complexion. Okay, first thing I'll be using, this is a very tiny sample of the MAC Prep and Prime, the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Base. This is in the shade Radiant Pink. I think since we're going radiant, we might as well go all out radiant. So I actually really like this. I don't know that I would ever buy a full size of this, but I only have a couple more uses in here, so it's good that I got it. I have it for this. So yeah, we're already starting shiny. Well, also a little bit red because I can't touch my face without it getting irritated. Also, let it be known that I currently upped my retinol to something way more potent than the retinol I had been using. And I do think my skin is sloughing, so I might talk about things that I have experience with on here that look good on me normally, but like maybe look a little worse for wear. But this feels really nice. Part of the project is I essentially like I'm pretending that I don't have an opinion on any things. Skin feels really nice. I guess whenever I think radiance, I'm thinking more radiance. I have glitter all over me already, but that's par for the course. So yeah, that was that. Next up, we're gonna use the Surratt Dewdrop foundation. I must admit that Surratt was running a 30% off sale during Black Friday, and I did re-up on this because it is my favorite foundation, and it's always something I come back to. Like, I come back to it often, and the thing is, I have literally zero idea how much is in here. And another thing is, this is like its one downfall, is that the packaging, I hate it. So what it is, if you're not familiar with it, so it has like a squirty applicator on the top, and then on the bottom there is like a rubber bit that you push on. And so, and then you essentially, I'm gonna take like this and I'm gonna pump it out onto that. However, it's like hard to get going, and then when it does, you just like don't know how long that go is gonna go for. And that's the only thing I don't like about it. Everything but that is only positive things for me to say. It looks so good on the skin. So there's the consistency of it. I know that this is reflective, but it's not like super liquidy, but it's not like a thick cream either. I would say it's the most similar consistency would be like a serum, like a gel serum almost. It would be like what I would describe it as. And then I'm going to use my Sephora 56 brush to apply the foundation. What I love about this foundation is that my skin still looks healthy after I've put it on. And that is like the real treat, the real dream, the dreaminess of this foundation. For concealer today, I'm going to be using the Radiant Touch from YSL. And I'm just actually really gonna put it under my eyes right here. I'm just gonna use my fingers today. I think these two particular products, these particular base products just play really well together, and just my skin's looking glowy already, and we haven't even done any of the glowy aspects of anything. So we are in good hands. Now, the only thing about this product I don't like is that I can't see in it. I'm now that I am like more concerned about like using up items, I get more and more concerned about like being able to see visibility of my use of a product. So there's that on that, but it's just so nice. It's just, you could definitely just see the difference between before I had this on and now that I have it under my eyes. It just really does brighten and reflects, but not in like a glittery way, but like reflects light in a blurring distraction of the eye kind of way. So before we move on, this is like a powder that I'm not like putting into the box every time because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use it every time. This is the Chantikai blurring powder. I'm just gonna do some right over the concealer so it doesn't crease, so we can just get that. And I'm gonna just do it on my forehead. I don't really want to powder my full face with this today because I do want it to be like creamy dreamy. But I'm not gonna put anything else on my forehead, so, you know, we don't want too much shine on the center of our faces. Okay, for contour, I will be using the Fenty Cheeks Out in 01 Amber. And I have some quality pan on here. I really like these. I like all the things in this range. And I know that some people don't. And that's okay, right? Because we all have different tastes in product. But I think maybe why I like them, and maybe it could be the reason why other people don't, is that I don't find them like obnoxiously pigmented. And so I find them that just like very easy to work with. And so you can build them up if you want to build them up, or you can just leave them as they are. And they're going to do what they, I just think they're easy to use. I think that sometimes brands, when they are formulating contour products specifically, is that they have a lot more faith in people actually knowing what they're doing than the skill level that people have. You're selling this product to a consumer who is very likely not going to know what to do with the product. And so what good is the product to them if you're not teaching them how to use it, and you're making something that's designed for someone who knows what they're doing to use? And I think that the Fenty Cheeks Out, they're designed for, they allow user error, whereas I think other things do not. I'm also going to be using the Cheeks Out bronzer. Now, Amber is technically a bronzer, but this is but a biscuit, and it is more of like a traditional bronzer. Also, something very nice about, there is something very nice and like feels back to basics about using your hands and fingers to apply makeup. It does feel like a little bit finger painty, and I love that. I don't know, it just makes me feel really good. For blush, we'll be using the Westman Atelier shade Puppet in their stick blush. Now, Hannah, and I am using Hannah as a guide here because I am gonna do, like, we're gonna do it. This feels like a lot of blush, but let us not cast, let's not throw stones, right? We've not done this. We've not done this before, Tom. So this could all just work out really well. And we could just be nervous. Like, that blended out much better than I was expecting it to. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do for like the center of my face, since I'm gonna try taking it all the way over, I'm gonna just put it on the brush. I think we did it. Do I look sunburned? Did I achieve the goal? Do I look sun poisoned? I don't know. I don't know about all this. But we're pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones. And then for highlight, I'm going to use the High Priestess from Ritual Defee, because you know I had to do it to them. We had to do some more Ritual Defee. I just have a lot of Ritual Defee highlighters, so they'll be prominent. They'll be prominent. And so I actually have two highlighters, but I'm gonna keep this one like where I traditionally would highlight. I feel like I look like I've just been like laughing so much that like my whole face is flushed. It's very it's like very kawaii, very cute. And then, because I am so inspired by Hannah with this look, and we're doing lots of creams, this is the Alchemist, and Ritual Defee advertises this as a highlight topper. I've never used a brush with it, but you get a lot of chunks of it when you use your hands. And I was wondering maybe if I used a brush that it would work differently. But it appears... no. Let's just... I feel like that was an error, but I am looking glossy. I am living up to the glossy promise that I had said I wanted to achieve at the beginning of this video. I would never do this with the Alchemist. I wouldn't recommend it because yes, there are like some chunky glitters in it, which like when you're just putting them on your highlight area, like I think it really works. But I think like the way I just did it, like kind of like an all over the face gloss, not really the move. If it weren't so chunky, I think it would work a little bit better for this, for what I just used it for, but I don't think it was designed for them. But isn't it fun to play with makeup and just like see what happens? I feel like a spice girl. Very spicy. So for the eyes, I'm gonna use the Makeup by Mario Master Matte's brightening pencil. I'm just gonna use it on the lower waterline. I think keeping it like nice and sprite and young is a good idea, just considering. And I'm gonna use the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. I don't like it, but I do. I am gonna set the paint pot with just some setting powder real quick, because I don't know, I find that's when it's performing at its best, is when it's set. So I'm going to take this shade right here and just kind of use that as my crease shade. So if you have been watching me for a while, this is one of those items that I've been talking about that I want to make a video about, like luxury eyeshadows and how they perform. And this is really what it would boil down to. Like this would be like the thesis, is just that is it high impact? No, but there is impact. It's just not high. And it's just so easy to blend. It is just so seamless because there's like not intense pigmentation, but they're not like, you can definitely tell they are of an upper echelon of quality as well, because they are just like so easy to work with. So then I'm gonna take another brush and I'm going to just sweep this shade right here all across the lid. So is it like a complex eye look? No, it's not, but it's still sophisticated and elevated. Maybe not whenever your face is so glossy like this, but it is. And then I think what we're gonna wrap it up with, I don't think I have anything else to use. I don't think I wanna use anything else. I think we have a lot going on here today. There's a lot to consider. This is the Mcgrath Lust Gloss in Future Femme, and it is like baby pink with sparkles. It's so milky and shiny, just like me. Oh, I do want to zoom in just a little bit so you can see. Like there is like a lot of chunky glitter, and I know you can probably see it from afar, but also I just like wanted to zoom in. So like I wouldn't use this product like this, and this is not my favorite way to use the product. Oh, I need mascara. Who am I kidding? Okay, so I really also want to get you in on this eye look. Just 2 shades, but like super elegant, super pretty. Now, does one want to pay as much as a Chantikai palette to achieve that look? Maybe not, but it definitely is doing something. Am I so reflective? I'm blowing out the camera. Okay, thank you so much for playing with the makeup, but I'm gonna do some final thoughts on what I've used today, and just kind of talk about them and my experience using them today. I feel like I was like pretty familiar with most of the things that I did touch today. In my last video, I was really made an effort to like pull things out that I hadn't touched in a while, and today These aren't stuff I always use regularly, but these are things I've used regularly enough that I feel like I have like a pretty solid feelings on them already. So let's start with the primer. I don't have much of this primer left. It's nice. It's not something I would ever buy, but it's definitely something I'm okay with finishing. Like, I think there's only one use left in here. Foundation. The Dewdrop foundation continues to impress. It looks so good on the skin. It blurs. It looks good. It's so good. It's so pretty. I continue to love this foundation. The Fenty Cheeks Out. Again, I think they work really well. They work really well for me. I don't know if they work really well for everyone, but both Butter Biscuit and Amber, they really do it for me. I think they really work well as cream products, especially if you are doing like an all cream face. These really work for me. They really do it. They really scratch that itch. The Ritual Defee, the Alchemist, I wouldn't use like this, but I will, hopefully I get to use it again before the end of this project to show you what I would really use it for. But we were trying something a little bit different, a little bit out of the box. And did we succeed? We succeeded in doing something different, but I didn't really love using it the way I use it today. Things got a little bit out of hand. I don't even know if you'll see the remnants of the High Priestess with the Alchemist all over it, but it worked very well. It's a very pretty highlight. It got overridden. It was no longer the star of the show after the Alchemist went on. The Westman Atelier blush in Pop It. Really diffused out like this. I don't think I've ever had it look this good on my cheeks, so maybe applying it like that and buffing it out really is the way. It worked, it blended out so easily. This was like very easy to use. And I've always been afraid of overdoing it just because this is a hot pink blush. But it really did give me a more natural looking flush. I know you really can't see it underneath all of this, but it's also on my nose, but I think it looks really good. And I think this is a color that I might use more of now that I have blended it out the way I did today. So this was a really big success today in the way that I used it and applied it is so different than the way I normally do. And I think it gave me a much better application. So that was something worth testing today. I love the Radiant Touch Concealer from YSL. It is pretty pricey. I don't know if it's going to be like the concealer that I continue to use when I'm out of my no buy. I have a lot of backups of this because of my friend Lena, so I will be using it for the foreseeable future as my go-to, but I have some other concealers that I would really like to work my way through. But I do think that concealers are likely to be some of the things that get decluttered as I use them throughout this project, but this one remains in my good graces, just like the Too Faced one did the other day. This Pat McGrath Gloss is pretty milky, and I think I've mostly used it to put on top of other things as like a topper, but by itself I'm not sure I really love it. I know I like the Pat McGrath formula, so I know that I like the formula of this lip gloss, but I don't know, well actually no, I don't, now that I'm looking at my lips, I don't really hate the milky look. It is just something to get used to. It's just not something I do often. I also think it looks less milky in camera than it does in person, but you might disagree. And I might disagree when I'm editing. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Don't know that I dislike it enough to declutter this right now, but I don't know that this is my favorite. Because I do feel like it's almost like as if I put a concealer lip on underneath it, and that is certainly not what happened. I just think that is certainly not what happened. This is fine. I just like what it does. It doesn't have to be this, but I did buy this at the end of my tenure at Sephora. So Mario, it's fine. And then this Quartet. Now, I didn't use this any way that I wouldn't normally use it, so I guess I didn't learn anything about it, but it is always such a treat to use. What a quick eye, you know, as opposed to the Noctex look I did in my last video with the Noctex palette, which was like very labor intensive, not because the shadows didn't work, but it was just, it inspires something different. This inspires like beauty, grace, elegance, whereas that one inspires like density and intensity. So they're just very different vibes. And I did want to kind of do like the polar opposite vibe for today's look, just to keep things spicy. And I knew I'm a little bit lower energy feeling today than I was recording my last video. So I do feel that this was much more the pacing and the speed at which I needed to go to survive today's video. I think that's everything I touched today, minus the blurring powder. So Would you wear something this glossy? Would you put this glitter on your cheeks? Do we like this sunburn look? Let me know in the comments down below. This was a lot of fun to play with you today. I hope you had fun as well. I hope you hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed my content and it was your first time here with me, and make sure to hit the like button if you did enjoy today's video. I am making a playlist of all of these touching everything before 2022. Please check that out if you want to see all of the other videos on this playlist. There's only one other one right now, but there will be more in the future. It's an ever-growing playlist, and if you want to see more of me, I'm going to be trying to post every day the month of December, so I'm going to really pick up the pace here. If you really want to see more of me then this month, I have a Patreon, and I'll be posting 2 additional videos over on the Patreon, so I hope to see you there. I thank you so much for watching this video and taking the time. I will see you in my next video, friends. Ooh, I don't know. I still don't know. I'm undecided on this look. I'm gonna have to take a look at it without all of this going on.